All right, hey, Bart Miller here with Cycling Strong. So today I'm going to do a video on something that I think is so critical to your performance. So this is one thing I changed this year out of all the years I've rode my bike, was recovery and making sure that I'm recovering right. So the reason it became critical to me was because I wanted to be able to ride more, but I wanted to be able to make that riding time productive while I was riding. So I started looking into, the first thing I came across was compression just for my calves. And I was gonna bring some of that so you can have it in this video. I will bring it in, but it's just like runners use. It covers your calf and it goes all the way up, that kind of compression. So I started using that, found on the bike it worked pretty well, but not as well as I wanted it to for recovery. And so when I would get done with a ride, I would put compression socks on that would cover my foot, clear up, basically up past my calf. And that worked really well, but it wasn't still doing the job I wanted. So I started reading online, started looking into other things, and I found some compression tights that you can buy. And those tights go clear up your leg and clear up around to your waist. But I started using those and I liked them, but I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like about them. They just weren't tight enough, and so I wasn't getting the full effect that I needed out of those. So then I started talking to a couple of doctor buddies of mine, and they said what you really need is medical compression. So I thought, well, all right, how do I get those? They said, well, all I was going to do is write you a script. You go down to the pharmacy, you can buy this medical compression and use that. That was a lifesaver to me. Like, medical compression made the difference for me. It really did. You have to sleep in it every night, harder than all get out to get in. Guys, you will be able to slip into a pair of pantyhose anytime you want after you've learned how to put these suckers on. Let me tell you, it is crazy getting these things on. You will have to take and put them on, and if you don't put them on like perfectly in sections, you try to rip it off your skin trying to get it on. It hurts like nothing else. So you learn to gather everything together, put it on, and pull it straight up, get it on there. But they work really, really well. Recovery was amazing. So then I started talking to some cycling friends of mine that were racing. I'm not going to name a bunch of names because I don't think that's important here. But a couple of them are pro racers, and they actually use a product called Normatec. And that's the product right here. If you can't see this little box right here, that's it. They had two different models of this. They had, I think it's a Sport. MVP. It's an MVP Normatec. And then they had the Pro Normatec. Now, those of you that know me, this won't come to, won't be surprising to you, but I had to go with the Pro because I wanted every benefit I could possibly get. Now, if I don't remind you, if I don't say it in this video, remind me in the comments to do another video, because I want to tell you, I think that was a mistake. I should have probably went with the MVP. I'll just tell you right now. The reason being is they have custom settings you can do in this Pro, but I haven't found any custom settings that are making a big difference for me. So everything else would have been in the MVP, and it cost me a lot less, and I would have got the exact same benefit that I was looking for. Now, if there's somebody out there that's a Normatec expert, which they are, I can call them directly, and they have been, let me tell you, amazing to work with. Like, all kid aside, every time I call, everything I need, they've supported me a ton. So I appreciate them very much. But the point is, I think you can get away with the MVP and cover everything, because I know cost. I know a lot of you are going to be haters on this video saying, I can't afford that kind of compression, it's just out of my league, all that kind of stuff. I get it. I know I'm an extremist, but I want to share. If I didn't share with you all of this, I feel like I'd be leaving you out. So medical compression is next best thing, but I'm here to tell you this, when you use these Normatec legs, you honestly, you can't use anything else. Like, it is that dramatic. It's that amazing. So I'm going to walk you through really quick kind of how they work, what I do. It's not any rocket science here. This little box comes. I'm not sure why they have a code on it. I guess in case you don't want somebody to steal and get into the box, but I have put the code in here. So then you have this kind of this front, and they can show you some pictures maybe of it online, or you can just go Google Normatec. Then you plug it in. Once you plug it in, what I love the most about this whole system is anybody can use this system. Like, there is no question of how simple this thing is to go together. Whoever did their design and all that nailed it. Like, they did a great job. Hit the power button, it turns on, so the case flips down, and it'll say select certain things. It's really simple. I'm going to select the recovery flush on the levels. I go up to level 8. My son Kobe, he loves level 10. Level 10 is painful, so I enjoy 8 or 9 just because I want to be manly on here. I'll go to 9, and then you hit select, and then you run your time up. I do 20 minutes. Then there's this simple hose right here that comes, and you just unvelcro the hose, do this back up, and it's real simple. It's got a little arrow on it. You just clip this right here, bam, that just goes right there, just like that. Then you have these two ends. So I'm going to set this down here because we're going to use the machine. And set this right here. You grab one of these. Now this leg right here, they were so nice. They put my logo right. We have our own Cycling Strong set. You put that up there. I like it because you can do this anywhere. In your car, you can do this absolutely anywhere. Put your foot in here and you zip this straight down. Now each one of these has a different air chamber pocket all the way through. So remember that as you put these on. Now I like to hike my shorts up or do this in your briefs if you want to, whatever you want to, but get everything out of the way the best you can. Zip this one up. And then once you're in, you're kind of in the spacesuit. You grab this right here, and it's got arrows with arrows. Click into this like that. And then what I do is I grab my iPad or something like that, hit start on that, and then I sit and read or do something. And what you do is you'll start to see as this starts to fill with air right around my feet. Now one thing you got to make sure on your feet, keep your feet straight. These things get really tight around your feet, and man, I'm telling you, like the first time I thought my foot was going to fall off. It crushed it. So make sure you keep your feet straight up. Keep them so that you get the air around there. Now you can kind of see the foot pocket probably right now start to fill up. When that starts to fill up, you hear the machine. It'll kind of start to go shh, and you can see on the actual machine each pocket that it's going to go to. So at the very beginning, you don't get a ton of compression, right? But then all of a sudden it starts to go and does the next chamber, the next chamber, the next chamber. And they figured out this scientific way of getting the lactic acid out of your legs and doing this process and this recovery. And you can actually, before a race, use these to get the blood flowing in your legs. Honestly, when I first reached out to Normatec, I thought, you know, there's no way all the reviews and all that stuff can be as legit. I mean, my buddies went off on these things like I am right now. But I'm here to tell you, wow, absolutely the most amazing thing I've done. My whole family, my wife runs, Kobe cycles, you've seen him on the videos. Every time we all have to do this, and it just is awesome. I've got friends now that I ride with. Every time they're done, they're in these things as fast as they possibly can be to recover. So if performance is a major thing to you and you really want to get to that next level and you're saying, I just don't know how, well, recovery's it. I think it's the only other option you can do besides buying a lighter bike or, you know, some things like that. But the nice thing about this is it's the massage from heaven, and you don't have to pay for it every single time. I guess you pay for it in one lump sum. And you can see as these are all getting, each chamber gets filled up. That's the way it works. So Normatec, you've hit an absolute home run. I can't thank you enough for all the help in helping me get recovered. I got these, one last story, and I know this is getting long. I got these while I was in Leadville. I had on my mountain bike, before I'd ever used the Normatecs, I had rode 140 miles. I had a race in 2 days called the Silver Rush 50-mile race. I got these. I had 2 days to use these before that race, and I ended up doing extremely well in that race. And the reason I say I did is because of these Normatecs. I mean, I'm not kidding you. My legs felt fresh. They felt great. They were tired, but I was able to get out there and perform and have an excellent race. And I could not have done that without these and getting that out of my legs. So would love your feedback. Make comments below. I won't make you sit through this 20-minute session and watch me get my legs done. But if there's one thing, I guess if there is a negative, and I don't know how to solve it, is I'm short. So these come really high up on my legs, like with my feet. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think they need to make these maybe different lengths, or I don't know how to use them on my upper body. I know there's lots of things you can do. I can do the research. I'm sure Normatec could help me if I called them more, got the insights. But if there is a negative, that would be it. And sometimes it crushes my feet. Other than that, I'll put up with all the rest for the benefits that it gives me. So subscribe to the channel. Cycling Strong, Normatecs, they're your new best friend, and you'll love them. Talk to you later.